Hi all, welcome to my channel, welcome to my world. This is the world of Wayne and Happy New Year. And we're going to start the new year by doing the next 10 stages, that's stages 51 to 60 of Build the James Bond DB5 from Eagle Moss. Oh, it's good to be getting back into the swing of things, and we're starting the new year, obviously building the DB5, and keep note of that interesting bit of knowledge. You never know, it might appear in the 2022 Christmas quiz. Had a lot of fun doing that, I have to say. Today we're going to be actually doing quite a bit. Compared to what we've been doing the last few stages, we're actually going to start working on the roof of the car. There are going to be some stages where we've got nothing to do again. I think that's part of this build now, but there are stages where we have got quite a bit to do. So I am going to be using my part work upgrades mat as well, so I don't scratch anything. Now, as for if you want to get this for yourself, at the moment, I don't think it's available anywhere anymore, but I have put a link in the description should that become available. But always check out things like Diecast Club, Hero Collector and Eagle Moss, because they do have things coming in the pipeline that they want you to register your interest to try and get it released. One of those is what is it? Some sort of Batmobile, which is coming soon. So we'll have to see how that goes. Anyway, without further ado, let's get cracking. Now, if you remember in pack 50, we had some parts here for the petrol filler on one side of the car here. Well, in stage 51, we have got pretty much exactly the same thing, but for the other side of the car. Now, the reason I'm not taking them out is because we don't actually do anything in this stage with them. Oh, that's a good start, isn't it? So, again, we can just look at the pieces and decide what we're going to do. I am going to keep them in the pack just to differentiate between the left side and the right side. But let's carry on straight away to stage 52. So in stage 52, I've laid down my part work upgrades mat here because check this out. Look, it's ginormous. We have got the roof of the car. I haven't opened this yet, so this will be the first time that I'm doing this. So I'm going to open it carefully. I don't want to scratch any of this paintwork here, and we'll get to see how this looks. So we do have some different kinds of screws here. We've got a pack of 20 here. These are type D screws. I'm going to write them on there just so I know. We've got 3 screws in this one. These are type C. And then lastly, in this pack where we've got 7, these are type A. Going to need that for later on. And there you go. All metal, flawless. Looks just like that. Now, because we've actually got some bodywork now, we can actually start fitting a lot of things onto this. We've also got the stages 50 and 51, the petrol caps. We're going to be able to put them on. But first thing we're going to do is bring over the rear windshield and frame, which we worked on in the last pack here. I'm just making sure that all of this is put together perfect, because what I'm going to do is turn it over and install this into place. Now this is just going to go over the lugs that we can see on each side here, making sure we put it on the right way. So it's going to go on this way here, and hopefully everything is going to line up, which it has perfectly, almost. Let's just get this last bit in. There. Ah, excellent. And basically that's in place just like that. Now we need the ejector seat frame looking like this. Let's get this open. Now on this we've got some lovely big curves and then kind of shortish curves here. The shortest curves are going towards the edge of the vehicle here. So when I put this on, it's going to line this up. Going to fit on the lugs here, 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 and there. And there we go. That's that frame on like that. The last thing to do then is to put the windshield in. Now I've still got my protective stuff on the windshield. I think that can stay on actually, because what we're going to do is I'm going to be putting this onto this way round. Making sure the tabs go on the inside of this section, as you can see there. I'm just going to put it on slowly, and that's going to go in like that. Now we do have some tabs on the side that we need to make sure are inside the vehicle as well, inside the frame here. So I'm being very gentle with that. As you can see, the tabs are on the inside on each side there, and also there. And when I turn this over, as you can see, the windscreen is actually resting on these points just here and here as well. So now we've got everything in place, and it is holding itself in place, no problems at all. We want to make that a little bit more permanent. So to do that, we have got the lining that's going in the inside that we put the sun visors on already. This is just going to go over the top to hold everything into place like this. Pushing everything in, and it's going to be held in with quite a few screws. We've got 16 type D screws going into every single hole that you can see around here. They're the ones in this pack. I will be using 3-in-1 oil just to help drive those in, but let's get all of these screws into place. And there you go, that's the headlining in with all 16 screws in there, including the 2 just up the top there. And that looks just like that. Pretty impressive at the moment, isn't it? Now we're going to be working on the fuel filler caps, which are going on each side here. So if we take stage 50 and we use the right hand side ones first, and quite simply, I'll show you on the close-up camera, I'm just going to be pushing this into the hole. It's going to lug on the back there into the hole here. So then that seats all the way in there like that. Then we're going to be taking this metal cap, and that's going to be going into this channel here. So it goes all the way through, and it will clip into place there. And then I want to hold that on the other side. Now this is where I need to open stage 51, because I need the hinge out of this. Now we do have this hinge to put into place, which is going to keep this from falling out, and that looks just like that. That's going to go over the top here like this. Push that down, and then that's going to be secured in just from the top with a screw, and that's a type C screw. So then that's in place. As you can see, we do have the little hinge flap there, which we can open and then close. We're going to do exactly the same on the other side. So once again, we take the inner here and just push that into place. Then we take the metal cap, push that in that side, so it goes in flat to there. Turn it over. Once again, we put the hinge into place just over the top here. Make sure we push that right over both lugs on both sides there, and then once again secured in with a size C screw. Which is in place, and again that's both sides done. So we've got one that side, and that brilliant stage is all there is to do. Now in stage 53, we're going to be working on the left quarter light window. So I'll get all these parts out. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to take these windows, and these windows do bend in a different way. They have got a bend in them, but the technique is pretty much the same. We're going to be putting these little details just into the outside here. So we're going to have this one going in here. I'm just going to make sure it's the right way round. It's going all the way through, looking like that. They do recommend on the My James Bond DB5 site to actually line this up on this side here, and then just push that down to make sure that's all the way through there. Now we're going to be closing that off with a tab just on the other side that looks like that, and when that's on, that should look just like that. Going to do the same on the other window, and that's the other window done as well. So there we go, that's both of those in place. Then we're going to be putting this into the frame that we've got here. Quite simply, this just goes over the lugs that we've got on this frame, and it's just a push in. So I'll line all of these up and get these pushed in, and there we go, that's the first window completed here. We can bring over the body that we were working on previously, because this is then just going to go into the side of the vehicle on this side here, in here like this. It's just a push in, and that's in like that. Now you will notice that it doesn't go in all the way this side to keep it flush along this section here, but that's all there is to do in that stage. So in stage 54, we got some parts for the rear seat again, which I'm just going to open. But we don't actually use any parts for the rear seat in this stage. What we do is we're going to be doing exactly the same thing on the frame on the other side of the vehicle. So we do have some screws in this one. We've got some type H screws, which are these ones here. And on this one here, we've got type L. So just write that on there. And then in a similar fashion to what we just done, we're just going to be putting the window on the frame here, like this, making sure that all the lugs are in. So that looks like that. Bring over the car body again. And then this time, this one's going to go in this way. And that means we've got the glazing in for pretty much the whole of the vehicle now. But that's all there is to do in that stage. So, pack 55. Let's get this open. We're going to be working on the rear seats again. Now we have got some screws in this. These are type C. And I'll get all of these parts open from the last few packs. So, quite simply, we're going to be taking this metal section and this plastic section. This is just going to go over the top of this section like that there. They're going to be secured together with type L screws, which we had in the pack here. We need 3 of these. So, 1 in here. Excellent. And then just 2 up the top here. So now that is in place like that. We've got the rear back seat, which looks like that there. That's just going to be going over these points here. So I'm going to put the lugs in like that. And then that's going to hold itself in place on the other side with 2 H screws. They're going to go into these holes here and here. I know you're going to be putting in comments about the way I pronounced H. Okay, H. You're not meant to pronounce the H in H. Oh God. English lessons. That's the first thing you're going to remember on the channel in 2022. Believe me, I'm not the person to be teaching you English. I can't speak at the best of times. Okay. Here's the second one. And there we go. That's that rear seat in. Absolutely perfect. And that is all there is to do in that stage. So, stage 56, we've got a couple of things in this pack which are all to do with the rear license plate. I'm going to get these out and show you what they look like. We've also got some screws in here as well. Now, these screws are type K screws. They're like silver flange screws. Let me just get my pen working. There we go. Matter of fact, probably best just to use a Sharpie marker pen. But we don't actually do anything in this stage. These are ready for the next stage. We can put that to one side and move swiftly on to stage 57, I believe. Okay, so stage 57, we have got the rear trunk. And this is all metal. This is lovely, this is. Let's get this open. Now, we don't have to do much work on it, so I am going to just leave it without the mat at the moment, just to show you what that looks like. That looks brilliant. We do have some screws here. We've got 5 type A screws, which I'll write that on there. And we've also got 3 type C. Now, this is where this build comes into its own, because we've got the trunk lid handle, which looks like this. This is metal, but we've got to put an Aston Martin badge on it. Guess when that badge came? You got it? That came in issue 1. Now, if you remember, I haven't even opened issue 1, so the badges that I want are down the bottom here. So I'm going to get one of them out. And as you can see, we've got 2 pins on here. They're just going to push into that section there. And as you can see, we've got a nice Aston Martin logo on there. It's brilliant, but I can't believe that we had to go all the way back to pack 1 for that. Now it is saying, if you notice, which is glad I did notice, that what actually holds this in is some double-sided sticky tape, and there is some double-sided sticky tape already on there, so you're going to need to just take the backing off that. For that, I'm going to use my tweezers here, which made short work of that. So when I push this in this time, that is going to stick in. It's not going to fall out. You don't have to apply that. That was already applied for you, which is excellent. Now the handle is just going to go through these two holes here. It's going to fit on just like that. And it's going to be held in on the other side with two of these flange silver K screws. Now there's a hell of a lot of metal here, so I am going to use some of my 3-in-1 oil just to help drive these screws in. And that's the second one, and there we go. That looks brilliant. I like that. But that is all there is to do in that stage. Stage 58 is the rear license plate and base. So I'll get all of this out. We do also have a pack of H screws here. We want the license plate retainer looking like this. And we're going to be putting that into the surround of the trunk here. Now it has got tabs on it. I don't know if it's got a specific way around it should go. On the My James Bond DB5 website, they've got, I think this thicker one is actually facing the top. So I'm going to put it in that way, just see if that clips in fine, which it does. Just that little bit of trim there, look at that, that's brilliant. So that's in place. We then got the revolving registration plate here. And we need to make sure that when we install this, the numbers are the right way round. So I'm going to put that in like that. We'll just check that from the outside, as you can see, and then it can just change and change again. Love that. That's brilliant. And then we have got these clips just here, which are going to keep that into place. And these are labelled. So we've got left and right. This one, as you can see, is the left one. So that's going to go on the left side here, just over this point like that. That's going to keep that number plate in. I've put this in oil, and this is a type C screw just going into this section here. And then we just do exactly the same thing on the right side. Again, put that over the top, and a C screw to hold that in. That means that number plate's not going to fall out now. Excellent, but that is what that looks like when it's there. And look, you can just, I like that one. I think I'm going to keep it at that one there. But with this section here, and we do have another sort of like parsley shelf thing here, that's all there is to do in that stage. Now in stage 59, we've got the bulletproof screen mechanism here that we're going to be putting together. We also have some screws. These are type L screws. I'll take these springs out. And basically these springs are just going to be going into these points here on this mechanism and here. Now, I'm not sure if they're meant to go in a certain way, but I've got them so that they look like that from the bottom, so the spring parts are pointing out. But that's all we do in that stage. So the last stage we're going to do today, loads to do in this one rather than the others, which is great. We got pack 60 here. We've got the trigger mechanism for that bulletproof screen. So I will take out this little trigger here, and we've got a longer end of this trigger which has got sort of like a knurled end just there. That's going to go into the hole that we've got over the top here and push that all into place. And as you can see, that's now flush, and that's all the way in there. Whoops, like that. Now in pack 58 we had this, I thought it was a parcel shelf, but this is the bulletproof screen housing. We've got a little notch here which we need to line up with that trigger, so when this goes over the top it's going to fit over like this. Just make sure everything fits in flush, and the other side. So then I've got, I don't know if you can see that, the trigger is actually into that section just there. Now this is going to be held in with 4 screws. and these are the L screws. So that's 1, 2, 3, and 4. Just like that. Now on the My James Bond DB5 website, it says that you've got 2 screw holes here, which they don't tell you to put anything in. Now what Todd's done here, he's basically put 2 L screws in here as well, which will keep the trigger mechanism a little bit more secure in there. So I'm going to do exactly the same thing. So there we go. So these springs are now fully into place. We've got the trigger down there. I'm not quite sure if you can see that. What we need, pack 1, the bulletproof screen. Can't believe again, we're having to go back to pack 1 to get a detail out. And then quite simply, all we're going to be doing is we're going to have it this way up, because the trigger is actually going to go into this section just here, and we're going to be sliding that in. So make sure the springs are actually into these notches just here. Push it down, and then the trigger should catch that and hold that into place. And as you can see, that's in like that. If it doesn't fit in, just bend that pin just down slightly, and that should actually keep that into place. I'm not actually sure what triggers it. I'm guessing that when something activates that screen, as you can see, it will just shoot straight back up again. But when you've got it in, all you do is you can push it down softly, and it will catch just like that. That's brilliant. So that's the bulletproof screen completed. We're going to be attaching this to the trunk assembly now. So this is the trunk assembly here. Having it this way round, I'm being very gentle because I haven't put it on the mat because I'm really naughty here. And then these points that we've got here and here are just going to be going over, whoops, wrong way round, this way round, to the points on the trunk there. So as you can see, the bulletproof screen is actually in there now. Now that's going to be held in with 2 type A screws. And there we go. That's that in place perfectly. All we got left to do then is just put the housing over the top. So this is the metal housing here. That's just going to go over the top like this. And that's going to be held in just with 2 screws here. And again, they are type A screws. And there you go. That is that in. And that is all there is to do in that stage. And that is all there is to do in those 10 stages. What a brilliant thing. So we've actually got the bulletproof screen. We've got the revolving number plate here, which I think is brilliant. I love that. And we've also done the rear back seat here, looking like that. And then the biggest thing we've done, probably the biggest thing of the build so far, is obviously we've done the roof and all the glazing. And that actually looks just like that for size. But I've kept it well protected here, but I thoroughly enjoyed that. There's a lot more to do than we normally have on that one, wasn't there? So I hope you enjoyed that. Now next Monday, we should be doing stages 61 to 70. Remember, there's only 85 stages in this, so there's going to be not a lot to do. Haven't really had any problems at the moment. I thought I was going to have a problem with the bulletproof screen, but as long as that trigger pin is actually engaged in the section below, shouldn't be a problem at all. So, so far, it's going smoothly, but we've still got that ejector seat to look at yet, so fingers crossed, we'll see what happens. Anyway, I really hope you liked that video. If you did, please remember to give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed already, please remember to subscribe. Other than that, take care.